Even the Dreadwolf.
What the hell?
This is your story.
Wait.
Well, punch me in the teeth and call me the Dreadwolf. BioWare have already revealed another trailer for the next Dragon Age this year. The Game Awards 2020 premiered a beautiful cinematic trailer that showcased many locations, factions, characters and foes we'll witness in the next installment. As per usual, me and Saria have many thoughts, theories and tinfoil on everything this trailer revealed.
However, before we break down this trailer, we have two descriptions of the next Dragon Age game shared separately on YouTube and Twitter. On YouTube, the trailer's description said, "The world of Dragon Age needs a new hero, someone who can take on the evil forces threatening Thetis." Get a first look at some of the new locations you'll discover and the factions fighting by your side in the next chapter of Dragon Age. And shared on Twitter, the post said, "The world of Thetis needs you, a new hero. The next hashtag Dragon Age will see the return of Solas and an old friend."
Of course, the old friend no doubt refers to Varric, who narrated this brand new cinematic trailer. That's right, the one, the only, our storytelling, chest-haired dwarf is coming back in the next Dragon Age, so we're already going to have some familiarity in the next adventure.
With that said, let's break down the entire contents of this new trailer and what it means for the next Dragon Age.
The trailer started by revealing the first piece of a brand new stone-etched mural. Knight Commander Meredith was shown infused with red lyrium holding her sword Certainty, followed up with Corypheus holding Solas's orb towards the heavens, and during this point Varric said, "I've faced tyrants and would-be gods." These two shots clearly showcase the previous events of Dragon Age that have somehow circulated towards Solas's scheme to destroy the Veil and deal with the Evanuris. Meredith took the red lyrium idol and forged it into her own sword. The idol itself apparently belongs to Solas, he cares for it, and he recognizes its depiction. Meredith was turned into a forged red lyrium statue, and the red lyrium idol was found and retrieved inside her statued body. However, the idol's current whereabouts are unknown. Needless to say, Solas wants that idol and he requires it, whereas Corypheus intended on using Solas's orb to usurp the throne of the gods for himself. Solas, banking on the Magister's failure, sought out to regain his orb after Corypheus unlocked it and died doing so. In this ideal situation, Solas would then use his orb and destroy the Veil. However, that didn't happen. Instead, Solas's orb was destroyed by crumbling rocks with Corypheus's defeat. The elven god now strives to find alternative ways to destroy the Veil. Both of these foes at the start of Solas's new mural show that what's coming next will be much worse than any catastrophe in Thetis. It's like Solas has drawn Corypheus and said, "You thought he was tough? Well, wait until you see what I can do."
The trailer continued with the next pieces in this mural. Two carvings of very enigmatic figures. The first engraving has an arched headpiece, red eyes, a spiky torso, and wavy lines coming from their head, with a haloed sun or moon behind them. Immediately, the spooky figure reminds us of the evil god shown in BioWare's story in Secrets from 25 years of game development. However, we believe the figure shown in this book resembles the elven goddess Gillenon, the mother of the Hala, who created giants, monsters, and beasts that spanned across the sky, water, and earth. While this depiction of an evil god is concept art, there is one key difference between the two figures. The evil god in the concept art has 4 arms, whereas the mural figure has 2 arms. So are they depicting the same god? We'll certainly come back to this figure later on. The next figure has a very curved headpiece, elven ears, and clawed-looking shoulder pieces, with another haloed sun behind their head. This leads us to believe this is yet another evil god. Personally, this figure reminds us of Dirthaman's statue we saw in Inquisition, but this could honestly be anyone, and we'll touch on that when we get to the finished mural. While these two figures are shown, Varric said, "Seen friends lose life and limb, but there's always someone bent on breaking the world." Obviously referring to allies previously lost, like potentially Hawk and even the Inquisitor's Anchor. However, the enemies bent on breaking the world paint the figures shown as evil and malevolent. Of course, it's not Dragon Age without someone trying to destroy the world. In the next sequence, a golden BioWare logo appears with a sun behind it. Perhaps this relates the previous figure to Elgradon, considering Elgradon was said to be born of the sun.
Taking our minds away from the mural for a moment, the trailer began to explore iconic locations and factions that are going to feature heavily in the next Dragon Age. The first location is a blazing desert with rough sands, cobblestone and huge puddles. We think this is the Anderfels, Phadis' blighted western lands. Over the horizon are multiple huge reptile creatures. They look like turtle monsters similar to the ankylosaur, which is a kind of armoured dinosaur with a club tail. During this sequence, Varric said it's time for a new hero as grey boots entered the shot, no doubt referring to the next protagonist. The boots are instantly recognisable as Grey Wardens. You can see a dark blue tint on their leggings as grey and blue are the Warden's colours. Not to mention, the biggest indicator that this character is a Warden is the location. A Grey Warden being in the Anderfels makes complete sense considering Weishaupt, the Warden's headquarters, are located there. More importantly, the fact that Varric said it's time for a new hero while showing this Grey Warden, and the trailer continued to show different factions while still talking about the idea of a new hero, we think this indicates to the overall message of this trailer, being that perhaps this time around we can choose the faction our new hero belongs to. Like origin stories, our hero can choose between at least 4 or more different factions within Phadis. While the Grey Wardens and many other factions will join our fight as key roles in the story, like Davran, who was hinted at in the Gamescom trailer, having the choice to choose where your hero is from would make for an epic RPG and a great callback to the series' roots.
The next location revealed the most elegant nation of Antiva, looking absolutely stunning with its gold accents and regal aesthetic. When compared to the behind-the-scenes concepts, we can certainly see the similarities between the early concepts and the CGI reveal, most notably the Disney-like palace that encompasses every shot. Still sharing about our new hero, Varric said no magic hand, no ancient prophecy, as a zoom-in shot of Antiva City revealed an Antivan crow stirring a goblet of wine. The palace behind the goblet had a magical energy emerging into the skies. The shot pulled back and revealed an Antivan crow sat on the rooftops of Antiva, looking over the city, with Varric talking about the next hero being a nobody, with no magical anchor and no ancient prophecy. Can we choose to play as an Antivan crow? If this crow is not showcasing the option of a new hero, then perhaps this is a crow who will join our journey, like one of the Antivan crow talents. I see a lot of similarities with this cinematic shot and the recent short story The Wake, which was all about the Talons mourning their lost friend. Antiva as a whole looks astonishing, from the rivers flowing through the city to the picturesque sky. The city looks like a delightful place to take a love interest. However, we're most curious about the magical energy emerging from the palace. Perhaps Antiva City prepares for the imminent Qunari and Tom invasion.
The next location revealed the most prideful Gothic nation known as the Tevinter Imperium. This beautifully macabre shot is most likely showcasing Tevinter's capital city, Minrathous. Once the motherland of the ancient elves before the Vale's creation, Tevinter was founded on the ruins of the Elven Kingdom. We can see many magical marvels and wonders in this cinematic shot. For instance, we have magical neon lighting guiding you through the city and the floating structure that stands in the centre. Perhaps this haunting structure is the Magisterium or Minrathous' Circle Tower. Regardless, the ferocious architecture and dark themes truly define Tevinter as a remarkable and otherworldly nation. A lot of these undertones look very similar to one of the concept art pieces shown at Gamescom. Followed with that shot, Varric said the kind of person they will never see coming, as a new hooded character was revealed pulling out a winged dagger ready to attack a blurred figure in a Tevinter alleyway. Now, not to sound like a broken record, but again, Varric is mentioning the new hero. So is this character one of the potential factions we can choose from? And if so, what faction? Well, because it seems like we're still in the streets of Tevinter, we think this character represents the Tevinter Sicarii. This faction was recently introduced in Tevinter Nights. They are the Imperium's best shadow network, made of highly skilled and secretive agents who each come from slave families. They are formidable and honourable warriors. This hooded figure has what looks like keys on their chest, along with a very golden logo on their shoulder, which looks like an owl. And the dagger also looks like it has a winged bird on its helm. If this figure doesn't represent a faction the player can choose between, then perhaps they are a shadowy Tevinter character from an unknown faction, or they could be someone like Neve, who was introduced in Tevinter Nights as a private investigator working out of Minrathous. However, we feel like the Tevinter Sakari is the best bet, because they are literally the Imperium's spies.
Followed by that, a most intriguing character appeared walking through a snowy forest. The figure has a 3-horned headpiece with trims of red on their outfit, holding a bow made of floating triangles. The location of this area is the exact same as the sexy tree we witnessed at EA Play, the gloomy midnight snow graveyard with infected red lyrium and Ferelden architecture. The tree appeared on the right as this mysterious character shot their enigmatic bow. With the location being the same as the tree, it could be anywhere close to the equator where it can snow, like southern Tevinter, northern Navarra, or it could be literally anywhere in the mountains. The Ferelden architecture really throws us off though. This new character is also a mystery. Who exactly are they? And what faction do they represent? Well, we've never seen anyone like this before, so they could totally be something brand new. However, we can piece a few things together, like the magical triangle bow. We saw this exact design in a concept piece at Gamescom, with many thinking that this design was ancient Elven. On top of that, in the Ruins of Reality short story art piece that featured the Starkhaven elf known as Strife, he wore a red cloak with floating triangles on it. However, even more intriguing, his cloak had the Executor's logo on it, a downward pointed triangle with 2 wavy lines drawn through it. So does this new character represent either the Executors or an ancient Elven clan? The Executors are mysterious beings who come from beyond the sea. They've been described to wear dark robes of Varantium samite with a thin mesh dropping down to cover the hood. I see a gold trim covering their face, but I don't know if that headpiece constitutes as a hood. Even so, we don't know what Executors look like. If this character represents an ancient Elven clan faction, that would explain why they have this magical bow that fires as if projected with fade magic, also illustrating the more alien look to this character. Regardless, we think this character is quite the enigma. They could just as easily represent a Talvashoth clan, a new Navarran faction, or something brand new that hasn't been explored in the games yet.
During this entire sequence, Varric said, "We've got your back, I've got your back." By "we've got your back," we assume he's speaking on behalf of the Inquisition's remnants, like the Divine, Scout Harding, Charter, and company, who are pursuing after the Dread Wolf. However, even more than that, Varric said he's got our back. So Varric is coming back in the next game, as a pivotal role it seems. Hopefully, this time around, we can romance our chest-haired friend. Please, BioWare? Please?
Varric followed that up and said demons, dragons, darkspawn, even the Dread Wolf, as the next sequence revealed a very familiar Fen Harel. Solas is pressing one of his hands on the fresco that depicts him as the Dread Wolf rising. He's touching the mouth of the Dread Wolf as the beast's teeth appear red, most likely to resemble red lyrium. Does Solas's plan involve ingesting red lyrium? The substance does weaken the veil after all, so is Solas going to become blighted in order to fulfill his scheme? As Solas approached, we can see he has clothed himself in ancient elven robe-like armor with varying tints of green. He looks very stoic, but also a little sad.
The cinematic mural that featured behind Solas was posted as a painting on the Dragon Age website, sketched out by Nick Thornborough and painted by Matt Rhodes. Let's take a greater look and decipher this mural's meaning. Straight up, we can see the Dread Wolf with 6 blazing blue eyes. Previously, the Dread Wolf was depicted with red blazing eyes in the Dread Wolf Rises mural. However, this time around, his eyes are blue. This clearly has something to do with lyrium. Maybe the Dread Wolf's eyes will turn red once he has become tainted. Or perhaps there is still a chance we could stop him from becoming tainted before it's too late. Or is the Dread Wolf becoming blighted just inevitable? As stated, the Dread Wolf has 6 eyes, exactly like his description in Tevinter Nights. Immortalitasi Mage, witnessing the Dread Wolf, explained the description of a lupin, monstrous, 6-eyed wolf the size of a high dragon. With the proportions of his eyes, there could be some significance to them, or it could honestly just be an art style. However, I wouldn't deny anything relating to the old god souls or the amount of Evanurus left, but we feel the size of each eye shows us that the Dreadwolf is dealing with some sort of distortion with his appearance, like absorbing Mephal's power, metamorphosizing him to become more draconic. At a glance, the Dreadwolf is bursting through the Black City, which is imbued with red lyrium. We can see the Dreadwolf has destroyed the veil by the representation of the spheres that have exploded with a roaring fire. With its destruction, the Fade and the waking world of Phadis have become one. With the world burning in the raw chaos, Solas could then restore the time of the elves.
The two evil figures on the left and right side look like the Illuvians and statues from the Virdathara, the ancient elven library, and according to Tevinter Knights, there are many elven libraries throughout the land of Thedas, like the one near the Imperial Highway. These headpieces the figures have are slightly different and differentiate each member of the Pantheon from one another. It's honestly hard to tell who these figures could be Pantheon-wise, but here are some of our tinfoil bits that can correlate to their appearance. When we reacted to this trailer live, we stated that these two figures could resemble the elven twins, Falandin and Dirthman. The statues look very similar to these figures, but now that we have studied it, the figure on the left looks more feminine with long hair, so this could be Gillenon, who has been mentioned a lot recently in the Dragon Age short stories and Tevinter Knights. If that figure on the left is Gillenon, then the right still has to be Dirthman, who we know has a closer relationship with Gillenon through Dalish and ancient elven legends. On the other hand, these figures could represent Elgar'nan and Mythal, who are closely related to Fen'Harel's redemption to break the veil. We could say that this masculine figure represents Elgar'nan, who is represented as a sun, and Mythal, who represents the moon. If these two gods are side by side with Fen'Harel, then the Emergent Compendium's reference could come true. Two shadowed spheres among stars, an eclipse as Fen'Harel stirred. However, this could be a stretch knowing that Solas already has the remaining power of Flemeth, and Elgar'nan has also barely been mentioned. It is worth knowing that these figures have a similar reference to these gods either way. Another connection these figures could resemble are the remaining old gods that bring forth the Blights. In our Dreadwolf Rises mural breakdown back in 2018, we talked about the centerpiece of the artwork with the massive moon that had two golden circles still lit, while 5 of them were grayed out, most certainly referring to the past and future Blights. In our new mural, behind these two figures, there are the same golden circles. If we are comparing these two murals together, these figures could be the two remaining old gods who aren't blighted, Razikael and Lusakan. According to Solas, if there is any chaotic event in Thedas, spirits will pull against the veil, weakening its forces. So, if Razikael and Lusakan were to become archdemons at the same time, that could potentially tear the veil, hence the Dreadwolf rising in the moment to change the world once again. And Razikael is the only old god to be confirmed female. So according to the mural, this theory might not be far off from this depiction. These gods have not been tainted and have been left somewhere sleeping for centuries. To awaken them will require most of Thedas to become blighted in order to escalate the timing of 2 blights happening at once. However, that is just a theory. As we know, evil gods have Thedas in their sights. It really just depends which gods we are talking about. We lean more to the Evanurus in this mural. However, the old gods are not out of the picture yet. As shown in the Dreadwolf Rises mural, we feel a double blight is in store for the future of Thedas.
Anyhow, the trailer ends with a new Dragon Age font and colour, and I do wonder if gold is going to be the main tone of the next game. Varric ended the trailer and said, "This is your story," no doubt referring to the fact that the narrative will be shaped by your choices and consequences. Regardless, this trailer was amazing, and we're so happy we actually had another look at the next Dragon Age game. We want to know all of your thoughts and speculation down below. How excited are you knowing that Varric is coming back? What do you think about the 2 mysterious figures? What about the mural? What tinfoils do you have? Make sure you let us know down below. Check out our live reaction to this trailer because it's just so crazy and we delved into even wackier things. And don't forget to sub to Saria's channel. But until the next one, we should go!